Tesla faces several barriers to selling more vehicles in the United States and China. And of course, Elon Musk is the only person who can really make it happen that there will be new approaches to getting past those barriers. First of all, he has a consumer who thinks he's being forced to give up his toy, his gas guzzler, his choice to go with a growling motor over a nice hum. He's up against a massive dealer network of legacy auto dealers who need to make a living and who don't think they can do that with the subpar electric cars being offered by their own brands. They have loyalties that have been built up over generations to specific brands and even to models. Those loyal customers are still coming to those dealers, and those loyal customers still want to buy those same brands. He also has only three basic form factors to work with: a luxury sedan, a luxury SUV, and a luxury truck. And even though the luxury sedan and luxury SUV now have very low prices compared to any other luxury sedan on the market, the customers don't know that. Of course, he also has detractors at the extremes of both parties who don't like various positions he's taken on political issues. But I'd be shocked if the total involved in that is over 20% who would actually cut off their nose to spite their face and buy what they consider to be a lesser vehicle in order not to do business with Tesla. And even that 20% is probably really high. He is up against perceptions that the vehicles, all EVs, don't have enough range, that there's inadequate charging facilities for road trips, and the cars catch fire too easily. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, doubt, misinformation, and intentional disinformation. These are the main issues that could be addressed through advertising and PR. He's up against a massive auto industry, all of the oil and gas companies, and the gas stations and repair businesses who will be hugely diminished if Elon is successful. That's a big bunch of folks who have an incentive to keep Tesla from becoming successful. There's a huge automotive press. Some of these are in specialty auto press, and then there are reporters who do the auto beat for more general publications, some of which are still in print, at least for now, but mostly it's online. They have long-standing relationships, even friendships and cash flow from legacy automobile companies. And there's no cash flow, no relationships with anybody at Tesla. In fact, the opposite, they get a cold shoulder. They get no test vehicles. They get no response for requests for a response to articles that they are prepping. They get no incoming articles or press releases about Tesla products, product updates, personnel changes, new factories, sales figures. I think you start to get the point. We need a PR department at Tesla and some sort of advertising budget to level the playing field at these smaller publications. Elon is a master of publicity. I've spent an entire chapter in each book. There's an entire chapter on Elon's publicity capabilities. There's nobody better. He has even been called P.T. Barnum, a kind of unflattering descriptor in most people's minds. But you know what? As long as the publicity is honest, there's nothing wrong with getting your brand name talked about. Now, combining massive amounts of great publicity with amazing word of mouth has done great for Tesla for the first 20 years. And I can't even say that it won't work for another 20. I'm not certain of that at all. We could have this trough year and then go back to 50% gains as new product gets rolled out and as we get into a different kind of economy with lower interest rates. But I'm just not the type to accept the trough year. And I'm shocked that Elon is seemingly willing to do so. He has the capacity to get to at least 2.5 million vehicles and probably more this year. He should find a way. He should really find a way. Look, this is Randy Kirk. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit notify. This morning I was supposed to have Kathy Wood on, but I'm not have her on the show, but I was talked with Larry Goldberg about the Kathy Wood report from last night, but there was no Kathy Wood report last night or this morning. And so I guess she's put it off again until next Friday, which she did once before. I am still planning to do yet another show today with the Saturday Tesla news. Assuming I can find some news, because so far there isn't very much to report, but I'll keep looking and hopefully I'll have at least some kind of a show later today that brings you up to date on what's happened since last night. All right, then we've got of course, we have a desire to mention to you something about a Cybertruck bottle opener, refrigerator magnet thing. I don't know. Have you bought yours yet? The information is down in the description. Have you joined Patreon yet? We need more folks on Patreon. Okay, onward and upward. So Dylan Loomis posts on X today. He says this is what he would recommend. Tesla should host quarterly updates on X for the projects at Tesla that never get any attention from Wall Street or the public. 2 to 3 teams could alternate or jump on spaces or do a live stream from the new official Tesla account for 30 minutes, talking about the latest developments, challenges, and plans. I would say A, much more often than once a quarter, and B, much longer than he's going to recommend, and C, I think that they could do some from the automotive division. They could do some from the robotics division. They could do some from the AI division. So they could, they could split it up among all the different aspects of the company. And again, he says, how about 15 minutes of providing an update and 15 minutes taking a few questions from listeners live or from questions submitted beforehand? I would say an hour of updates, another hour of conversations and questions, and a couple of hours would not be a lot. You could have different individuals from the leadership that'll be coming in or out, or maybe several members stay on the panel the entire time. But yeah, this would be great. I'm all for it, Dylan. They should do this. And then he says, we'd love to hear more about the progress with projects. And see, these would be all separate individuals that would be running these different spaces. How about something from the electric division? How about from the Tesla insurance division? How about from the VPP expansion? How about from solar roofs? So there's all these different, I think that we figured out one time there's 18 different startups at Tesla. Elon, you mentioned that yourself. There's 18 different startups. Well, okay, let's get those startups every month, once a month. Just do 1 hour and 1 hour of questions, or however long it takes. That's what I've always said. How long should the first part of the program be where they give an update? As long as it takes. If it takes 15 minutes, great. But if the update really should go on for much, much longer, believe me, people will be glued to it. He goes on to say, we rarely get updates on the expansions of these business lines. Even if the updates are positive, most of us would just want to have the transparent truth anyway, so we can all get and set realistic expectations. He says, I believe Elon mentioned in passing at one point that Optimus team was going to do a podcast to cover developments here, but nothing materialized. Now, I wouldn't say nothing has materialized. We've had these short, like 1 minute or 2 minute videos showing Optimus walking around or doing some kind of action. But yes, I think that this has been basically another missed opportunity where this new video team, along with his very talented people, could be doing very serious updates, answering questions, and they don't need to give anything away to the competition. And besides, if you take Elon at his word, there's no competition for the energy division, the energy storage division. There's no competition for the robotics division. There's no competition for the insurance division. There's so many things that could be talked about where there really isn't ever going to be competition. Anyway, I don't really see any downside, says Dylan, as long as the team members know the limits of what they can share. The benefits would be numerous, and he lists these benefits. The Tesla community gets real news from the source and becomes less reliant on legacy media. Number 2, the general public can learn more about why Tesla is so much more than a car company. Number 3, the team leaders can grow their social media accounts for life after Tesla. Number 4, there's a forum with more flexibility and less pressure to talk about technology and ideas without the limitations and expectations of an earnings call. Number 6, the teams can hear feedback and suggestions from the Tesla community on certain topics directly. Absolutely big spot on, absolutely. And Elon says he wants that feedback. I think I'm on 7, people can be reminded of how much talent is at Tesla beyond Elon and the C-suite. Number 8, although there is the problem that we've run into noticeably where people are getting stolen by the competition based on their being visible. Well, you can make some decisions about who you want on those calls based on your worries about that. And maybe these will be spokespeople as opposed to the actual heads of those divisions. And then I lost count of the number, and there's no number here. More investor questions get answered about these projects we very rarely get any meaningful updates on. And then there would be, these would undoubtedly serve as recruiting opportunities where the team could share what exactly it is that they're looking for in their various departments. And his last one is more growth for X if these information sessions are held here exclusively, which they should be and probably would be. And yeah, this would get huge numbers of people that'll be signing up for the various divisional sections on X from like auto and energy, et cetera. And it would also help to build up just the amount of traffic on X. These would be extremely well attended. And, yeah, I think that's really good. The Tesla community is constantly ready and willing to disseminate information about all the great things happening in Tesla. And I bet most teams would have at least a few people that would enjoy sharing the hard work they've been doing to push Tesla forward. This is still Dylan. This would certainly be an easy, I'm sorry, that was Dylan. Now it's Randy. This would be an easy and inexpensive way to get more info out there. And you almost know that the automotive press and the regular press that are following Tesla would almost have to attend because they don't want to be beat to the story. So now maybe you don't need the PR department. No, don't say that out loud, Randy. So as I continue to press for more advertising and for our PR department, if the YouTube ads are working, turn on the spigot to much bigger numbers. Try advertising on the streaming ads that Prime just started up. They're just in the beginning of doing their ads, so jump on now while it's early. Prime also will have extremely good demographic information so that you can tailor your ads to that particular demographic, and then you can have a specific website URLs so you can know where the traffic is coming from, just like you're doing on YouTube. And then you could have a PR department. Did I say that already? So I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more output from the new video team. There's an unlimited amount of content possible. The potential to really break through on social media is huge, just given the presence on X alone. So that's, round two today for me, ripping on about how Elon and Tesla really need to figure it out. Figure it out. That's the only thing I can say. There is excess capacity. We know this to be a fact. It's on the earnings report. It says right there how much capacity: 500,000 in Austin, 375,000 in Berlin, both of those being used at about half rate. We need to sell those cars. Okay, I did a video this morning, was chock full of information about the current economic situation, in particular regarding inflation/deflation, the commodities market, where it is right now, and the potential for some real harm if we get to actual deflation. If you missed that, you might want to check it out. Here's the card. And please hit like if you haven't already done that. Please hit subscribe if you haven't done that. And please hit notify if you want to be notified later today when I do my regular news show, and tomorrow night when I have my Monday morning show, which occurs on Sunday night, where I talk about the financial week coming up, as well as all the things that are probably going to happen with Tesla next week, including, I think we're going to have that all hands meeting where Elon is going to talk to his troops, but it's going to be provided live streamed while he's doing it, like they just did with SpaceX. All right, I think that's, join Patreon and buy yourself a camo, the camo one, the plain one, whichever one you want. $25 for one, $45 for two, $65 for three. All the information on that and on Patreon is down below in the description. And as always, it has been great talking to you.